I found the greatest city in America and I'm gonna share it with you. I lived in the same city for 47 years and I had enough. No sunshine had me depressed all winter and I'd spend 9 miserable months waiting on summer. Does this sound familiar? My wife and I couldn't take it anymore, so we moved to Florida, and I'll share the 4 reasons why we're now living in the greatest city in America, and you could be too. If you're new to the channel, my name's Grant Warrington. I retired early thanks to real estate investing, and now I get to live where I'm happy. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can explore paradise with me. Let's jump in. So the first reason I'm living in the greatest city in America is convenience. We lived in Detroit, Michigan, and we were about 25 minutes from the airport, and we owned real estate there. We had our family there. So if we were gonna move out of state, we needed to be able to get back to Detroit very quickly. So this ruled out states like California and Texas because the plane flights were too long. And we both always loved Florida, but this just made that decision so much easier. And I had a buddy that lived in St. Petersburg, Florida, so I decided to start looking at the Tampa airport. Turns out you can be in downtown St. Petersburg from the airport in about 25 minutes. And the flight from Detroit to St. Petersburg was just a little over 2 hours. So if any major problems came up on our apartment buildings back in the Detroit area, we could hop on a plane and be there in no time. And we can shoot up for family events and be back quick. That's why we decided St. Pete was the city for us. And the great thing about living in St. Petersburg, Florida is you're so close to everything. We're 25 minutes again from downtown Tampa, which is a huge convenience because we can go there for day trips, just to do things like museums or the zoo. And being so close, we can do all these things on the weekdays and avoid the weekend crowds. We're also 27 miles to Clearwater Beach, 45 miles to Sarasota, and of course, St. Pete Beach is right in our backyard. The other thing I was looking for was multiple routes to the airport. I didn't want to sit in one big traffic jam every time I had to fly somewhere. And there's several ways to reach the airport from St. Pete. The first being the Howard Franklin Bridge, and that's probably the biggest and busiest. And you also have the Gandy Bridge to the south of that. Now, if everything breaks down and shit goes haywire, there are 2 other bridges, but those are out of your way, but it's good to know you have those options. And once you get over by the airport in Tampa, they got a world-class mall there that's fantastic. And if you know me, I love the Outback Steakhouse, and they got a brand new Outback there that every time we come into town, my wife and I stop there and eat dinner. Love it. Here's reason number 2, St. Pete's the greatest city in America. It's development, and that means jobs, and that brings people. The Tampa airport is building a whole new terminal called Airside D. It's a $1.5 billion expansion to the existing airport, and they're estimating 39 million passengers a year by 2042. That's a 36% increase from today's 25 million passengers. So right off the bat, I know this city's growing. Over 10,000 people currently work at TPA or Tampa International Airport and all its business partners. This shows how vital this airport is for local employment. The Airside D expansion is expected to create thousands of new construction jobs over the next 3 years. They're building roads, bridges, infrastructure, and the actual project itself, which will boost the economy and fuel growth. On the other side of the bay, in my hometown of St. Petersburg, the Tampa Bay Rays baseball team are building a brand new stadium at the cost of $1.3 billion. Now, this is part of a long-term development project of 86 total acres for a total cost of $6 billion. This is going to bring shopping, office, restaurants, and apartment buildings to downtown St. Pete. This is going to create thousands of new construction jobs on my side of the bay, and after they build it, the people will come. Another really cool thing that Florida's developing and they want to be on the cutting edge of is the Advanced Air Mobility Program, or AAM. They're vertical takeoff and landing aircraft that can be used to carry passenger and cargo. So it's similar to a helicopter. You'll see them start to take off as a helicopter and then fly like a plane. They run on batteries and electric motors, and the aircrafts go between destinations called vertiports. The Florida Department of Transportation says, we do anticipate seeing passenger travel. So we'll see people possibly flying from St. Pete to Tampa, or from Miami to Fort Lauderdale. Reason number 3 is real estate. I get to live where people vacation. That means highly desirable real estate. So before I moved, I did the TikTok test. I went to TikTok and I started searching Tampa, St. Pete Beach, and Clearwater. And I was amazed at some of the beautiful videos that came up. You see amazing growth, downtown life, beautiful waters, beaches, and people. And I get to live here. The secret's out, and that's why housing is gonna stay strong here, because it's so desirable. So when we bought our house here, we were pretty confident that there's going to be massive future appreciation. Now, we're real estate investors, so we don't buy for appreciation. We just look at the environment and expect to see it. With all the development, the new jobs, and the high demand for housing, it's gonna drive appreciation all over the Tampa Bay market for years to come, which is great because we're homeowners here now. Now, I came from Detroit, so let's use that as an example. Detroit has made massive improvements over the last few years, but the bottom line is they're losing population. And here in the Tampa Bay area, we're gaining population at an incredible rate. Number 4 is tourism, which drives that development and growth. So this area is booming. Tampa Bay's hotel revenue passed $1 billion for the second year in a row. That just shows you this area is a big hit for travelers. Tourism generates $9 billion annually for Hillsborough County, and that's the county Tampa's in. But here's the great thing about my city. I just had a buddy post on Facebook a few days ago that he's hanging out down in Florida. So I reached out to him and said, hey man, I live in St. Pete. How far away are you? Because I hadn't seen him in years. He dropped a pin on the map and he sent it to me. And I'm like, dude, you are 5 miles away from me. He said he'd heard about the St. Pete area and they wanted to come visit. So it was awesome. I got to go meet him on a Saturday, him and his wife for lunch. And it was very cool catching up with them. I also got to tell them a bunch of cool things to do while they're in St. Pete. So tourism in the Tampa Bay area drives everything. Face it, if people aren't coming to your city, they aren't spending their money, the city and the area can't put back into the local economy. They can't build better infrastructure, plan for better improvements, and make it an overall better place for the citizens to live. But since so many people come here and there is so much tourism revenue, this city is continually growing. We get new restaurants, new buildings being built, new companies moving down here, and it's just an awesome thing to see. And here's the secret you might not know about St. Petersburg, Florida. We all know that the beaches and the water are beautiful, but did you know it's called the Sunshine City? That's one of the big reasons I wanted to move here, because I mentioned I'd get depressed in the winter, and I love seeing sunshine all year round. And that's what attracts people to St. Pete, because they know they got a great chance of seeing sunshine on their vacation. St. Pete's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most consecutive days of sunshine at 768. So you got some pretty good odds you're gonna see the sun on your vacation. No matter where you decide to move to, don't make the mistake of exchanging one crappy city for another. Use these 4 steps I just gave you to make sure you're moving to a city that's growing. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. That lets YouTube know you thought this video was valuable and they'll share it with more people. Here's another video I know you're gonna love. Click this video and I'll see you there.